Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Let's start our video with a story where OP, working at a thrift store, encounters an entitled customer who refuses to accept the store's no haggle, no refund policy. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. I want to haggle, even if you don't. A woman comes up to the registers with a massive, beautiful area rug that we just got in. It's been priced at $100-ish, which is high for our usual thrift store prices, but still well below retail. She doesn't have the "I want to speak to your manager" haircut that I can tell, mostly because it's been tied up in a bun. EL, entitled lady, C, coworker, and me, pretty much peripheral. The first words out of her mouth to my coworker were, "Excuse me, is there any wiggle room on this rug?" C, "No, I'm afraid not." EL, "Well, the price is just too high considering there's some damage to it." C, "The department head would have researched the value and made adjustments. I'm afraid I can't do anything about that." EL, "Well, I need a rug to cover some damage my kids did to our carpets, and I need it by Tuesday for a house showing. Can I speak to your manager?" C, "Our store manager has gone home for the day, and our store's closed for Labor Day. I'm afraid if you want to talk about a price adjustment, you'll have to wait until Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. EL, "No, I'm afraid I cannot wait that long. Do you give military discounts?" C, "Unfortunately not, just a senior discount, and that's only 10% off." EL, "10% isn't nearly low enough. I can pay you $50. Me, "Ma'am, we don't haggle." EL, "Well, the price is too high. Can I just buy it now and return it?" C, "No, we don't do refunds. You can donate it back, but you won't get any money for it." EL, "This is ridiculous." C, "I'm afraid your only option is to leave a message for the store manager and come back at 10 a.m. Tuesday to see if she'll lower the price for you." We already know that she won't. EL, "No, I need it for Tuesday morning. That's not early enough." Huffs and moves to the side to fiddle with her phone for about 10 minutes before coming back. EL, "All right, I'll pay your ridiculous price, and I'll need a pen and paper. I'm going to leave a message for your store manager to get a partial refund on this rug." Coworker, smirking, "Sure thing." The woman scribbles down her name, number, and a complaining message about how the rug was too expensive and how she wants to get a partial refund on this rug to reduce the cost down to $50, as well as a military discount on top of the price reduction. Then she pays for the rug and stomps out. We posted the message on the store manager's office door along with a note saying that I and my coworker told her multiple times that we don't haggle or give refunds. Since I don't work on Tuesdays, I'm almost sorry I'll have to wait to hear about the incoming Category 5 tantrum that'll be likely to ensue. Update. So Thursday was my first day back, and I asked my store manager what happened. Events regaled to me as follows. Store manager came back to work to read the note. She proceeds to laugh and shake her head in disbelief at the audacity of this entitled lady before opening her office and starting up the daily stuff. She also checks the security feed for the day in question. 10 a.m. on the dot when the store opens, the phone rings. Apparently EL was not satisfied to simply leave a note and or wait to be called back with an answer. Nope, she's on the phone with her spiel prepped and everything. Store manager politely listens to the whole song and dance. Amazingly, the story remained consistent with no added details or claims that her son's cancer-ridden puppy needs the money back for life-saving miracle cures. Nope, she's literally admitting again that she has used the rug to hide damage to the house she showed early this morning and wants her money back, or at least some of it. EL winding down her story. "So that's why I'm hoping you can work with me on this." Store manager, "Well, actually, no, I can't." Beat of stunned silence. EL, "I'm sorry, what do you mean you can't?" Store manager, "I can't. We don't do refunds at this store. Rare occasions being an accidental overcharge, we can refund, but it's same day only. We don't advertise that we do it, and this lady doesn't need to know about rare exceptions because those only happen when we are at fault." EL, "But the rug was too expensive." Store manager, "And yet you purchased the rug anyway, after being told you would not be getting any money back. EL, but nobody said that. Nobody told me that I couldn't return it or get a price adjustment. Store manager, ma'am, you were told that multiple times. EL, 0 to 100 instantly. Are you calling me a liar? Store manager calmly, ma'am, we have video and audio of the 20-minute-long argument you had with both of my employees. They both very clearly inform you multiple times that we don't haggle and we don't refund. Crickets. Store manager, now as I see it, you have a choice. Either keep the rug or donate it somewhere. Either way, we appreciate the money you've generously donated to all the homeless kitties and puppies at our local animal shelter. Have a nice day. Click. I was honestly kind of speechless at the epic beauty of this complete shutdown of an EL. I don't know if my manager embellished on what she had said to this woman, as I'm hearing it a couple of days after the fact, but I think I'm going to pretend it's all true and hold that happy little thought in my heart for the rest of my days. I'm hoping the manager will say to her, ma'am, did they charge you $100 for this $250 rug? Wait till I talk to the cashier when they arrive Wednesday. And our second story. Customer tries to apologize for being a Karen, but I refuse to accept it. This happened a few years ago. At the time, my store offered 1-hour photo processing, and I was the head photo tech in our lab. This did not make me a manager in any way, but I had just been in the position for years at this point. If no one's ever worked in a photo lab, you should know that we have to deal with U.S. federal copyright law. If someone tried to print a photo that they did not create themselves or an image owned by someone else, we cannot legally print it without permission from the owners. The customer that came in had several images of Disney characters that she claimed to have bought off Etsy. Regardless of where she bought them, Disney characters are a big no-go on the copyright scale. We can't even print those novelty photos you get taken at the park without a release. I tried to refuse her images and she starts throwing a fit. I expected as much. Most people have issues when I don't let them have their photos without understanding the rules we have to follow. Normally, just explaining to them is enough to get them to calm down, but this customer was cussing and yelling at me and would not calm down regardless of what I did. So eventually she said the magic words of, I want to talk to your manager. Fine by me. I call my boss, tell him what's going on, and he comes to talk to the customer. He explains everything I just explained to the customer again and apologizes to the customer. There's nothing we can do. Sorry, it's the law. The customer leaves and I don't think anything of it. Until she came back 2 days later. At first she was okay, came up to the lab, patiently waited her turn, and tried to print the photos again. We had the same runaround, and after calling the same manager again, the customer tried to apologize to me, saying she just really wanted the photos, and she was sorry for calling me every bad word you can think of. Her. I apologize. Can we put this behind us? Me. No, I do not accept your apology. There was no need for you to say any of what you just did. Her, looking very confused. You cannot accept an apology? Me. Yes, I can. I hold you responsible for what you said, and your words hurt. My manager, trying not to laugh. Ma'am, I think you should go now. You just know that if you'd accepted the apology, she would have said, great, you can print my photos now. And our last story. Karen parks in our driveway, calls the cops when we tow her car. A while back, my family and I moved into a quiet suburban neighborhood near a popular Mexican restaurant. The place is always packed, but the parking situation, not great. The restaurant even directs people to a parking lot about a 15-minute walk away because there's no room nearby. One evening, we found out that not everybody was willing to take that walk. A random family decided to park in our driveway right in front of our garage. And trust me, you couldn't confuse our driveway for public parking. It's surrounded by rose bushes and a decorative fence. It looked like a private driveway, no question about it. We didn't notice the car until my dad came home around 6 p.m. He had to park on the street and figured it was one of our friends visiting, but after asking around, none of us recognized the car and all the neighbors were clueless too. After waiting a couple of hours for the mystery owners to show up, we finally called a tow truck around 8 p.m. and the car was hauled off shortly after. Then, just as we were getting ready for bed at around 10 p.m., the doorbell rang. I opened the door to find an angry couple standing there with their 2 kids looking ready to throw down. Without any hesitation, the mom, who was clearly the Karen of the duo, immediately launched into a tirade. "Karen, where's our car? We parked here to grab dinner and now it's gone. What did you do with it?" Me, trying to stay calm. "You were parked in our driveway, so we had it towed." Karen, her voice getting louder. "Are you kidding me? We were just at the restaurant. It was only for a little while. How could you have it towed? That's completely illegal." By this point, my mom and dad had joined me at the door. My dad, trying to stay cool, "This is private property and you were blocking our garage. We waited a couple of hours, but you didn't come back, so we called the tow truck." Karen, now completely losing it. "You waited? You waited? We were at dinner. What were we supposed to do? Walk 10 minutes like peasants? We'll sue you. You can't just steal our car." Her husband chiming in. "Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. You're going to regret messing with us." The yelling got so bad their kids started crying, but Karen was on a roll. Karen, jabbing her finger at my dad. "You have no right, none. I don't care if this is your driveway. We need to park somewhere, and you're going to pay for this. This is your fault." My dad, who'd had enough by this point, just shook his head and slammed the door in their faces. We went back to our evening, figuring they'd get the message. But nope, it wasn't over. At midnight, the doorbell rang again. My parents were already in bed, but I went to check it out with my dad, and guess what? The police were at our door with the same family standing behind them, looking smug. Apparently, they told the cops we had totaled their car and ignored their attempts to resolve the situation. Karen, standing behind the officers. "They destroyed our car, officer. We were just trying to get answers, and they shut the door on us." The officer turned to us, clearly skeptical, after explaining the real situation to them and showing there was no totaled car to be found. The cops quickly figured out what was really going on. They apologized for the hassle and escorted the family off our property, telling them to cool it. We thought that was the last of it, but a few days later, we got a letter in the mail from, you guessed it, Karen and Company. They had the audacity to send us their towing bill and demanded we cover the cost, threatening to sue if we didn't. My parents took the letter to our lawyer, who basically told us to ignore it. They didn't have a case. We haven't heard a peep from them since. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.